it's Julie Schooler here, and this is Bite Size Sparkle episode 22. And today I want to talk about the 3 questions that we constantly ask ourselves, even though we might not realise. Yes, I've had a little break, which I was telling you guys I'd have a little break over Easter from the Bite Size Sparkle episodes, but actually I'm a couple of days later than what I was expecting to be. And that is because I had my 178th fight about how I apparently load the dishwasher wrong with my husband. So, and that just threw me into a real low point in this whole saga of the pandemic and lockdown and everything like that. And I spent the last day and a half binge watching Masters of Sex, a TV show. And I thought I'd just jump on here and admit to all that. And maybe that might help someone else. Because we ask ourselves 3 questions, and how we answer them affects how happy we are and how productive we are and how we get through the day. And so the 3 questions are: what are you focusing on? What meaning do you give it? And what do you do about that? What I did with the dishwasher fight was focus on how terrible I felt. And the meaning I gave it was lovely and entirely catastrophic, which is nothing I do matters. Isn't that great? And so what I did was ignore everyone and binge watch TV. Isn't that great? That's fantastic. Because do you know what that means? It means we have control about how happy we are, our emotional state. We actually have control about each stage of that decision-making process, those 3 questions. So instead of focusing on how terrible I felt with the dishwasher fight, I could have focused on anything else, all the other good things that happened that day, a couple of days ago. And instead of making such a catastrophic meaning, I could have decided anything else from that fight. Like, for example, I think I load the dishwasher just fine. And instead of deciding that I wanted to binge watch TV, I could have done a whole lot more productive things. Although it was fun, but not very productive. And anyway, it's not something I want to do all the time. No judgment if you want to do it, but it's not something I want to do for weeks and weeks on end. So it just goes to show you that we have these constant 3 questions running around in our brain, and we're always answering them, and how we answer them helps us decide our emotional state all day. Isn't that amazing? All we have to do is answer the questions in a more positive way. So why did I get so catastrophic? Because we have this underlying fear that I am not enough. That's our underlying fear. And so that underlying fear of I am not enough allowed me to think that nothing I do matters, right? We all have an emotional home that we go to, especially in times of stress, which is now. And for a lot of us, because it's ingrained, our emotional home is I'm not enough. And it takes a lot of awareness to try and change that. And I try and think about that a lot. It's called personal growth. It's not called personal, you have got to the top of the mountain. So I'm still growing and learning, and I thought I'd come on here and admit that things haven't been so sparkly for me in the last couple of days. But instead of binge watching TV, even if I am feeling I'm not enough, which I'm not feeling as much anymore, I can still act differently. And one of the ways I can act differently is to create bite-sized sparkle episodes. And even if no one else watches them, they still make me feel great. So I am here. I am doing a bite-sized sparkle episode every day for as long as I can. There may be a couple of days in the middle there that get missed, but I am recommitting again to bite-sized sparkles. And this was bite-sized sparkle episode 22. Tomorrow I'm going to ask you about how you went with the no news challenge. So I'm looking forward to that. Julie Schooler, bite-sized sparkle 22, episode 22. And I'm going to go upstairs now and not load the dishwasher.